Imagine, for a moment, scrolling through your favorite social media feed and coming across an image so serene it almost takes your breath away. A pristine beach where someone's laptop rests on a sunlit table, the waves gently lapping in the background, suggesting that work can be done anywhere. Now, instead of experiencing a sense of calm, this idyllic scene sparks a flicker of anxiety. You begin to question your choices and wonder if you are missing out on that luxury lifestyle. Welcome to the world of digital status signaling, where every post is more than just a snapshot of a moment. It is a strategic display, a carefully constructed signal of success that leverages a deeply rooted fear, the fear of missing out, or FOMO. In today's digital era, social media platforms have evolved into intricate stages where we all perform for an audience forced by our own insecurities. At first glance, a beach scene like the one we just imagined might seem like an invitation to leisure and freedom. But dig a little deeper, and you begin to see the financial and emotional mechanisms at play. Mechanisms that are fueling a cycle of conspicuous consumption and constant comparison. Over the next 20 minutes, we will unravel the hidden dynamics behind these digital signals, exploring how they affect our sense of well-being and our personal finances, and offer guidance on how to break free from this seductive trap. The phenomenon starts innocently enough. In the early days of social media, sharing was a way of staying connected. But as platforms grew, so did the sophistication of the images and messages they carried. Today, each post is carefully curated, not merely as a shared experience, but as a message designed to convey an image of affluence, success, and the ever-elusive freedom. Think of it as a modern-day lighthouse, guiding us not towards safety, but away from our own realities. It is this spotlight that has created what experts call the status signal trap, wherein the allure of flaunting luxury becomes intertwined with the underlying attempt to evoke envy and self-doubt. The trap is ingeniously simple. A single, well-timed post, from a colleague's floating yacht party to an Instagram snapshot of a midnight escape to a bustling, exotic location, sends ripples across the digital community. In these moments, users are not just sharing a story, they are broadcasting their status. And when that status is defined by luxury, it sends a clear signal to anyone who might feel their own life falls short of that picture-perfect moment. The design of social media amplifies this effect. By showcasing these curated highlights, platforms create a constant stream of reminders of what is desirable and what is ostensibly attainable. At the heart of this all lies FOMO. The fear of missing out is a powerful emotion. It is that gut-wrenching feeling that you are excluded from experiences that could or should be defining, and it is especially potent when those experiences are framed as symbols of success. FOMO does not simply spur curiosity, it often leads to profound personal anxiety. It tells us that happiness, status, and validation are tied to our ability to replicate these idealized moments. A friend's seemingly spontaneous luxury vacation or a colleague's glimpses of a work-from-anywhere lifestyle work as constant reminders of what could be missing in our own lives. This is where the digital landscape becomes a breeding ground for what social scientists refer to as upward social comparison. Every time we compare our behind-the-scenes reality with someone else's highlight reel, we risk undermining our sense of self-worth. Instead of celebrating achievements, we may begin questioning whether our own life is enough. And over time, that nagging doubt can spiral into financial strain as we start trying to emulate a lifestyle that, in reality, is far beyond our means. Consider the enchanting yet perilous phenomenon of conspicuous consumption, the habit of making purchases not for personal joy, but to signal success. Once reserved for the upper echelons, this behavior has been democratized by social media. Now, anyone can partake in it by simply posting the latest gadget, designer accessories, or snapshots from an expensive vacation. It is a cycle fueled by immediate gratification and sustained by the brief, fleeting joy that comes from likes, shares, and comments. But as the hedonic treadmill concept reminds us, that satisfaction is temporary. Soon enough, the buzz fades and the cycle begins anew, perpetuating a relentless pursuit of external validation. This cycle is not just an exploration of personal insecurities, it has very tangible economic consequences. The pressure to maintain an image can lead individuals to overspend beyond their means, risking credit card debt and financial instability. Advertisement models on social media encourage this behavior by subtly suggesting that acquiring more, whether it's an exotic travel destination or the latest high-end gadget, will somehow close the gap between one's reality and that idealized existence. Yet what these posts fail to show is the cost behind the scenes: mounting stress, dwindling savings, and a pervasive sense of inadequacy. Now, let's pause for a moment and reflect. Picture an office worker who, burdened by monthly bills and unattended dreams, constantly compares their life to that of someone seemingly always on an endless vacation. The resulting inner turmoil can be debilitating, a poignant mix of envy, regret, and deep-seated anxiety. As the digital avalanche of luxury posts rolls on, each image reinforces a notion that personal worth is somehow measured by outward displays of wealth. And amid this, personal finances and mental health begin to suffer silently and inevitably. At its core, this dilemma is both a psychological puzzle and an economic hazard. When the pursuit of digital status becomes a goal in itself, it sets forth a ticking clock, where every moment spent chasing validation is a moment spent disregarding real life. Social comparison theory teaches us that constant evaluation of ourselves against the curated versions of others can lead to persistent dissatisfaction. The result is a society that is always feeling behind, always striving, and sometimes failing to achieve an unattainable perfection. In the midst of this intense digital dialogue, what options do we have? How can we reclaim our autonomy in a space designed to keep us hooked? The answer may lie not in rejecting social media altogether, but in fostering a sense of media literacy and financial awareness. Recognizing that these posts are not windows into a flawless existence, but rather a series of constructed narratives, is the first step towards a more balanced perspective. A critical look reveals that social media platforms are meticulously designed to capture our attention, playing on our impulses to create a dependency on digital validation. Through endless streams of images and updates, they exploit our vulnerability to feelings of exclusion and inadequacy. The psychological impact is profound. Compulsive usage patterns become the norm, sleep may suffer, and overall well-being can be compromised. In this battleground for our attention, every like and comment becomes a small wage paid for the currency of our emotional and psychological investment. Yet in this storm of digital enchantment, there is hope. By cultivating media literacy, we can learn to discern between the polished veneer and the genuine reality that happens behind the scenes. Awareness is the key. Understanding that these images are often the products of filters, angles, and selective moments can empower us to detach our self-worth from the external validation we so desperately chase. Media literacy teaches us that genuine content lies not in the cold moments of excess, but in the authenticity of everyday life, the messy, nuanced reality that these glamorous posts fail to capture. It is also essential to consider the economic aspects. Personal finance education becomes vital in navigating this landscape. With the pressure to keep up with high standards, many individuals make impulsive spending decisions that ultimately lead to financial strain. This is the financial trap, where the accumulated debt and anxiety become the price of maintaining an unrealistic facade. Here, the hedonic treadmill operates at full speed. The fleeting joy of a new purchase quickly gives way to the disappointment of its impermanence, and the cycle begins once more. Reflect for a moment on the vast toll this takes on mental health. A person burdened by debt and constant self-doubt is trapped in a loop where living in the moment is always overshadowed by the ever-present comparison to a curated ideal. Studies have shown that these dynamics contribute significantly to anxiety and even depression. The financial strain, combined with the emotional toll of never feeling quite good enough, paints a stark picture of the consequences of digital status signaling. Yet even amidst this relentless cycle, there is an opportunity to steer the narrative towards a mindful and constructive path. Embracing the principles of media literacy, individuals can begin to shift their focus from perpetual consumption towards genuine engagement with their worlds. Instead of allowing social media to dictate self-worth, we can choose to define success and satisfaction on our own terms. Imagine a shift where each scroll becomes an exercise in discernment rather than a trigger for envy. Instead of succumbing to the pressure of maintaining an illusion, you could choose to celebrate authenticity, both in yourself and in others. When we take the time to look behind the lens, we realize that every luxurious post comes with a hidden cost, one that is rarely spoken of but always felt. The beauty of the beach view, for all its captivating allure, is merely a fragment of reality, an artfully staged moment that masks a complex story of emotional vulnerability and financial stress. Take, for instance, the story of countless individuals who once measured their success by their digital footprints. They found themselves trapped in a cycle of overspending, chasing a mirage of perfection that left them feeling perpetually inadequate. Yet, when they started questioning the authenticity behind every post and redirected their focus towards nurturing real connections and sensible financial choices, a remarkable transformation occurred. The anxiety began to wane. They discovered that true fulfillment stemmed not from keeping up appearances, but from cultivating personal strengths, cherished relationships, and practical financial health. Their lives shifted from being dictated by impulse and comparison to embracing meaning and balanced growth. As our exploration draws to a close, let us synthesize these insights into a clear narrative for the future. The picture we painted at the beginning, a serene beach where work and luxury mingle, is not an indictment of ambition or a celebration of excess, but rather a mirror reflecting the complex interplay of digital influence, psychological vulnerability, and economic pressure. It serves as a reminder that while social media can be a source of inspiration and connection, it also has the potential to trap us in a cycle of never-ending comparison and anxious consumption. The solution, then, lies in embracing a more mindful approach. Begin by questioning every post. Ask yourself, what story is this telling? Consider the amount of effort invested in creating a flawless image and weigh it against the reality behind the lens. Nurture media literacy and let it serve as a tool to peel back the layers of illusion that often shroud these images. Moreover, cultivate financial awareness by aligning your spending with genuine aspirations rather than fleeting desires amplified by digital filters. Empower yourself with the knowledge that true success and happiness are not commodities bought with credit cards or measured in likes, but are found in the authenticity of experiences and the richness of meaningful connections. Ultimately, the journey away from the status signal trap is not instantaneous. It demands a step-by-step reorientation of priorities, an acknowledgement that the pursuit of perfection through digital signals leaves behind a trail of anxiety and financial burden. But by gradually shifting our focus, we can begin to reclaim the liberation of living a life defined by our own values, rather than the fleeting echoes of a digitally curated image. Now, as we near the conclusion of this exploration, let these reflections take root in your mind. Every visual in your social media feed is an invitation to question and a call to deliberate, rather than a directive to overspend or feel inadequate. Recognize that the seemingly alluring facade of luxury is designed more to lure than to inspire. a signal not of genuine success, but of the unyielding pressures of our modern digital society. In this intricate dance of images and emotions, we stand at a pivotal juncture. The choice remains ours, to live in a space of perpetual comparison or to step back and honor the truths of our private lives. The narrative we've unfolded today reveals that the glamorous posts and radiant vistas are not keys to fulfillment, but rather mirrors reflecting hidden insecurities and unsustainable expectations. True liberation lies in breaking away from this cycle and choosing a path of introspection, authenticity, and deliberate financial prudence. As we conclude, remember that every moment scrolling through your feed carries with it the potential either to reinforce a cycle of anxiety or to inspire a moment of clarity. It is in your hands to decide which path to embrace. Allow the gentle rhythm of genuine living to supplant the hollow pursuit of digital validation. Only then can the allure of luxury be seen for what it is, a carefully constructed signal rather than an attainable reality.